Hi everyone, welcome back to Fatima and Ola Fashion Workshop. Today we are showing you a little bit of some tips and tricks on wedding gown alterations. So I'm gonna get closer so you see. This is called the horsehair trim. We know it's got a weird name and it's not the easiest to work with, so we're gonna show you how to work with it now. So on the current dress, it obviously has a few layers. We're on the very bottom layer of the lining. We just removed the horsehair. We hemmed to where the length is required. So after cutting this bottom layer, also the other layers, but we wanted to show you this one first. Now we're attaching the horsehair trim back. You see how it's very stretchy. They go in different sizes on each dress. Obviously you see the prom dress are a little wider, but this is what we got here now. So how we start is that we're on the right side of the lining here, the very bottom part. We would stitch not on the very edge, but just a few, let's say, millimeters away. This will be like 1/8 of an inch. As you could see, we're not on the very bottom. And the first tip is not to stretch too much. In order to be able to tell if you're pulling one side of the fabric too much or if you're pulling the trim, is to put the lining on the bottom and then hem on the top side, just so you have control under the trim and you make sure that you don't pull too much and don't stretch too much. And then after we hem all around, what we're gonna do is flip it. Right, so we decided to leave the extra on the inside and not just cut it off. All we're gonna do is run a couple stitches to reinforce, so you'll stay there. You see like the all two pieces together. And then you're gonna have to cut all the excess thread in there and leave it all clean. Few more reinforcing stitches on the extra fabric. You want to make sure that you put all those layers together so the trim doesn't become undone. Yep, a few more. I think we're good. This is what we have now. Yep, so it's all reinforced. And now we're gonna sew the rest of the trim. We usually do this prior, so like putting the two pieces together and reinforcing prior to finishing one side, because if you finish one side all the way, if you finish this side all the way, then you're not gonna have enough space here to do all the reinforcing. So we suggest do this first and then come back and finish the stitch into where you were before. That makes it a little easier. All right, so now, as we said, we flip it over. This is gonna be on the other side. And then we go ahead and do one final stitch at the top. I'm trying to zoom in so you see. There we go. Now it's on the other side. This is the opposite side of the liner. We try to trim any possible thread that's got caught in there, and then try to create that nice finish hem closer to the bottom as possible, just so the stitching is not that wide, because it always looks better when it's very like thin and elegant, because that's the finish that you want. We know that this is like the 6th layer of the dress and it's going to be on the very inside, but you still want it to be nicely made and clear. See, this is like the final product that we have, and this is how it's going to look on the right side.